Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we'll do some questions on straight line on the basis of the concept that we have studied so far. So the first question is, basically there are two lines given. The line L1, there's a figure that's like this. And there is a line that is L1. And this line has equation 2x plus 3y equals 26. This is L1. And the line L2, which passes through origin and is perpendicular to L1. So basically this is our second line. And it's passing through origin and is perpendicular to L1. Now, part 1, find an equation for the line L2. The line L2 intersects the L1 at point C. This is point C. And the line crosses the y-axis at point B, and it crosses the y-axis at point B. So basically we need to calculate the equation of line L2. Clearly we know that the L1 and L2 both are perpendicular to each other, and we know the condition. If there are two lines and perpendicular to each other, the multiplication of both the slopes is equals to -1. On rearranging, I'll get the slope of this as 26 minus 2x, that is y equals 26 over 3 minus 2 over 3x. That means the slope of line L1 is minus 2 over 3. When I put this value down there, I'll get M2 is equals to 3 over 2. This is the slope of line M2. Now, if I write the slope form mx plus c, I have m but I don't have c for their line L2. So for that I should have one point that should lie on line L2. And for this coordinate is given, that is origin. So y is equals to 3 over 2x plus c. Y is 0 since it's passing through origin, that is 0, 0. So y will be 0. X is 0. From here we can calculate c as 0. If I put c back there in this equation and m 3 over 2, I'll get y is equals to 3 over 2x. This is the required equation of line L2. Now part B says find the area of the triangle OBC. Okay, so this origin is O and B is right here and C is here, which means we are talking about this triangle, that is this one. So we know that we can apply half times base times height, that is the formula to calculate area of a triangle. If I get to know about this height and this base, the length of this base, I can clearly calculate the area of this triangle. So the very first thing is we should know the coordinates. Now if I go back and see the equation L1, so L1 was 2x plus 3y equals 26. And this point we don't know, but we know that this point is lying on y-axis. That means x is 0 there. Only we need to calculate the coordinates of y. So since this point is lying on this line, so it will satisfy this line. That means x is 0. On putting x equals 0, I get 2 times 0 plus 3y equals 26. That is 3y equals 26, and from here the coordinate is 26 over 3. So we have calculated that the coordinate of y is 26 over 3. Now we need to calculate the remaining third point. Since this C point is the intersection of line L1 and L2, so L1 and L2 are the simultaneous equation and we need to calculate them, solve them. So L1, let me write down the equation of L1, which is 2x plus 3y equals 26, and the equation of L2 was y is equals to 3 over 2x. What we need to do, either go for substitution method or elimination method. Here if you do the substitution, that will be much simpler. So in place of y, let me put 3 over 2x. So 2x plus 3 times 3 over 2x equals 26. This will give you 9x over 2, 26. 13x over 2 equals 26. And x you will get as 4. Definitely there is no use of calculating y here, but even though, let me calculate y. So if I put x equals 4 there, I'll get 3 over 2 into 4, that is y is 6. So the coordinates of C are 4, 6. Now we have the coordinates of all the 3 points, all the 3 vertices of this triangle. We need to calculate the height and the distance of the base. So the distance of this between this and this is clearly 26 over 3, because we know that the distance between two coordinates is root x1 minus x2 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. x1 is 0, x2 is also 0, so this is 0. y2 is 26 over 3 and y1 is 0. So this will give you 26 over 3. So we have this 26 over 3. Only remaining is this height. And this height we know because this is y-axis. So all the points on y-axis are 0 for x. So all the x's are 0 on y-axis. So the distance between these two is definitely 4. Or if you see it as a rectangle. So this, if I move from this point to this point only in x direction, I am moving 4 units. So this distance is 4 units because y is constant at this point. Only we are moving in x direction. So from 0x to 4x, the distance between these two is 4. Now the area of triangle is half times base times height. The length of the base we have calculated as 26 over 3 and the height is 4. So from here we can calculate it to be 52 divided by 3 square units. This is the area of the required triangle. Now see the next question. It says a straight line L1 passes through the point minus 1, 3. There are 2 points given. First is minus 1, 3 and second is 11, 12. Find an equation for line L1 in the form of ax plus by plus c equals 0, which means you are supposed to give the answer in standard form, where a, b and c are integers. The line L2 has equation 3y plus 4x minus 30 equals 0. Find the coordinates of point of intersection of L1 and L2. Okay, so let me focus on the first part, where it's given as the 2 points. The line is joining the 2 different points and you are supposed to calculate the equation of the line. So we can directly use this formula in the last lecture that I've told you, that y minus y1 is equals to m times x minus x1, where m is change in y over change in x, that is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So suppose any coordinate as x1 y1 and another as y2 x2. So if this is x1 y1, then this will be x2 y2. So in place of y1 it's 3. For m, y2 minus y1, which is 12 minus 3 over x2 minus x1, that is 11 minus minus 1. So 12 minus 3 9 and 11 minus minus 1, which means 11 plus 1, that is 12. So you'll get 3 over 4. So it's 3 over 4. X minus x1 is minus 1. So y minus 3 is equals to 3 over 4. X plus 1. If I cross multiply, I get 4y minus 12 equals 3x plus 3, or 4y minus 3x minus 12 minus 3 equals 0, because we are supposed to give the answer in standard form. So 4y minus 3x minus 15 is equals to 0. So this is the required equation of the straight line. Now let me move on to the next part. This next part says that the line L2 has equation 3y plus 4x minus 30 equals 0. Find the coordinates of the point of intersection of L1 and L2. So basically there is another line. This is 4x minus 3y, and there is another line which is 3y plus 4x minus 30, and this that we have calculated is 4y minus 3x minus 15 equals 0, and we need to find the intersection. So to calculate the intersection point, it's simultaneous equation that we need to solve. So let me do it with elimination method. So 3y plus 4x equals 30, and this is 4y minus 3x equals 15. So now let me make the coefficients same. So multiplying this with 3, this with 3, this with 3, and this with 4, this with 4, and this with 4, I'll get 9y plus 12x equals 90, and this is 16y minus 12x equals 60. Now add them. 12 minus 12 will give you 0. 9 plus 16 will give you 25y, and 90 plus 60 will give you 150. So from here y is equals to 150 divided by 25, that will give you 6. So the value of y is 6. Now put this value in either of the equation to get the value of x. So this is 3y plus 4x minus 30 equals 0. On putting y equals 6, 3 times 6 plus 4x minus 30 is equals to 0. That is 18 minus 30 plus 4x equals 0. That is minus 12 plus 4x equals 0, which will give me 4x equals 12 and x equals 3. So we get the coordinates x as 3 and y as 6. So point of intersection is 3, 6. So whenever the two lines are given, their equations are given, and you are supposed to calculate the point of intersection, so basically they form a simultaneous equation. Why a simultaneous equation? Because if they are intersecting at one point, so definitely this point is lying on both the straight line. So this point should satisfy this line and this line. Definitely. So we need to find that common point. Moving on to the next question. This question says there is a line x plus 2y minus 8 equals 0, and this line is perpendicular bisector of AB. So there is basically another line AB, and this line is perpendicular bisector to that line. If the coordinate of B is given as 3, 5, you are supposed to calculate the coordinates of A. So let me draw this roughly. So basically there is a line and its endpoints are A and B. And then there is another line. This line is perpendicular bisector to this line. So x plus 2y minus 8 equals 0 is perpendicular bisector to AB. Perpendicular bisector, which means this is perpendicular, and bisector, which means it bisects this line. So if I say O, then AO is equals to OB. So this line AB is bisected by x plus 2y minus 8 equals 0 into equal parts, and we are supposed to calculate point B. That means O is the midpoint. So the very first thing is we need to calculate this point O, and let me write down that B, that is 3, 5. So if I say this be A, B, we don't know the coordinates of AB, like point A. So let us suppose it to be A, B. Now O is the midpoint. So how can I calculate the midpoint? It's A plus 3 over 2. comma 5 plus b over 2. So these are coordinates of O. Means this O point is lying on this. So clearly these 2 points will satisfy this equation. So in place of x I can write a plus 3 over 2 plus 2 times y, which is 5 plus b over 2 is equals to 8. A plus 3 plus 10 plus 2b over 2 equals 8. From here I'll get a plus 2b plus 13 is equals to 16 when I cross multiply that, and a plus 2b is equals to 16 minus 13, that is 3. This is our first equation in terms of a and b that we have calculated. The second thing is, this was from the bisector point of view, that's why we have calculated the midpoint. Now let me see, there's another thing given that they both are perpendicular to each other, which means we need to apply that concept. And whenever two lines are perpendicular, we know one thing, that is m1 times m2 is equals to minus 1. So slope of this line is, if I rearrange it in slope form, I'll get 8 minus x, y is equals to 8 over 2 minus x over 2. So from here minus 1 over 2 is our slope. So minus 1 over 2 times m2 is equals to minus 1. So slope of this line is 2. If slope of this line is 2, that means we know change in y over change in x is slope. Only concentrate on the line AB. So change in y is 5 minus b and change in x is 3 minus a, and this is equals to 2. 5 minus b is equals to 6 minus 2a, or I can say 2a minus b is equals to 1. So this is our second equation. So let me write it down there. Just below it, 2a minus b is equals to 1. So this is a simultaneous equation. You need to solve it to get the value of a and b. To solve this, you will get a is equals to 1 and b is equals to 1. So the required point a is 1, 1. So I'm again repeating. Basically there is a line AB given, but its end points are given. One end point, its coordinates are not given, but B, its coordinates are given, that is 3, 5. And there is another line x plus 2y minus 8 equals 0, which is perpendicular to this line, and also it's bisecting that line. Since two things are given, perpendicular and bisector, so first we take the bisector thing. So bisector, which means if it's meeting at O, so O is the midpoint. Applying the midpoint formula, we'll get one equation in terms of A and B. Second is perpendicular, so whenever two lines are perpendicular, it's always we need to apply m1, m2 equals minus 1. Apply that one, and then you'll get two equations in terms of A and B. You solve the simultaneous equation, you'll get value of A and B. This is the required answer. So basically that's it for today. We have done 3 questions, 3 different types of questions, and in the next class we'll do some more questions. If you want one-to-one tutoring, I have attached the link of my website in the description box, and also if you want to know about the previous lectures, I have attached the link of those as well. So that's it. Thank you. Stay tuned.